Welcome to our tutorial on using the Family Cookbook Custom Cover Arranger tool. We'll start off by giving you just kind of an overview of what the screen looks like and then show you some really fun and advanced things you can do with laying out a cover for yourself. Firstly, you'll note that if you scroll down, there's only two things really showing, which is a view of your cover as is, and this is kind of how it looks when you first create an account. So yours may look like this, or maybe you've done some work and it looks a little bit different, but that's what you're seeing on the left-hand side. Then the right-hand side is actually how you select things to edit. So really all we have on the screen right now is our cookbook title and then a cookbook cover background that comes from our system. A couple of notes. You'll see a little light red dashed box and a light blue dashed box. Those are important for a couple reasons. The light red one is to let you know where we will trim off when you get printed. And that's called the bleed area, so that your cover, whether it's your own photo or one of ours, actually bleeds right off or goes edge to edge completely. The blue area is what we consider our safe zone. So if somebody's heads or text, captions and photos, you pretty much want to keep them within that area, just in case something does go slightly awry in trimming. Typically not, but just in case. So now how do we do anything? Well, let's talk about the one thing we can work with right this moment, which is our cookbook title. We'll come over here to our select a cover area to edit and choose our title text. You'll see it got a little highlighted box around it. You can move this box anywhere you like on the screen and it'll reset and move your title to that position. You can resize the box. You can make it long and thin. Instead of 2 lines, you get a single line of text. You can make it short and fat, and then the recipe or the title will go as you see there. Lots of fun things you can do with your text. First and foremost is the color. We may say, black is fine, but we'd like to be closer to the green we have in that leaf. So let's come down to our color and we tick on the custom text color box. We come over into green, we go kind of dark, so it's pretty darn close there. And you can actually get the exact codes if you're into graphics and you know the colors. And then ta-da, our text is now dark green, very similar to the leaf. You could, just like anything else that you would do with text, you could change your fonts. You can change your font size, bold, italic, justification. One thing to note, everything says the word default. And that's important because when our system lays out your title and subtitle automatically, depending on the cover you choose, those positions may come and go. The font by default will use your recipe title font from your recipe layout for consistency. So just FYI, that's what the defaults mean. And if you ever need to reset things, I'm going to show you how to do that in a second. It's pretty quick and easy. But let's say instead of Times Roman, we want to go with something maybe like Cooper Black. That's a fun looking font. And we want to maybe go back to a larger size. 42 point is the default, but let's take it all the way up to say 65. Get a nice big text box. And boy, that looks great, doesn't it? You can save it at this point. And here's a note for any computer program. Always a good idea to save as you go because you never know what's going to happen. And if things have a hiccup, you want to make sure they were saved. So the other thing you can do now, of course, is maybe add a subtitle. So you can go to your subtitle text. Now, again, some of you may have already added a subtitle over in the layout design area, and that'll already show up. Or you can do it here. So let's put in a subtitle, say the year, set it, and now it says 2022. What we want to do though is we would like to have the same font for that so that it matches. And let's go with more of maybe a burnt orange color to kind of match some of the other text on the screen with that. Oh, but I didn't choose custom cover text. There we go. Haha. Move it down a little bit. Looks very nice, doesn't it? So let's again make sure we save that. So that's using our title and subtitle. We were able to play with the fonts, which play with the colors, that kind of thing. Now let's talk about changing our cover design, the background itself. Well, we've got dozens and dozens and dozens of covers you can choose from. And the way you do that is you come over here to select the area to edit, go to change cover, and it will then pop up all of our cover choices. You can, and I'll show you this in a bit, choose your own blank background to use. Or you can come down to, say, the food covers and go with a carrot and apple. And oh, that looks fantastic. And if you'll note, by default, it remembered where you had placed your text on the other cover. Well, it doesn't line up now. So you can simply move it, grab the title and move the title down. Same thing with your subtitle, move it down. But you can say, well, you know what does this look like? What is it supposed to look like by default? Well, easy way to do that is just like tick these two boxes, reset text and photos to default positions, and reset text formatting to the defaults. What that's going to do is it's going to say, okay, we're using the carrot and apple cover, and we want it to reset to the correct colors to match. So we're going to save that. And then it, ta-da, makes a white title and puts it in the box and puts a black subtitle down here. That's fine and dandy. And that's what we expected it to do. We might now say we'd like to have a photo. So let's go to Pictures, add a cover photo. And how about this recipe card? Now, it uploads a thumbnail just to make sure you got the right one, and you can remove it if you don't want it, but we do. And then you'll just click Save New Photos. And what that will do is it'll plop it into the middle of the screen. And now you can go back to Photos, Pictures. And one important thing to note, it's not selected yet because you may have a whole bunch of photos and it needs to know which one you want to work on. So you click the little Select button, and then now you can move it all around. So let's say we would like to have our recipe card down here. We want to resize it to fit. A couple of notes. There's a little checkbox down in here, and if you tick that, then you can't change the width or the height. It'll hold steady, and you'll probably want to do that often because you don't want things to get stretched out. You can get wild and crazy and stretch it any shape you like. That's up to you. So I'm going to move the photo to there, to that position. I'm going to come back in, and I'm going to move my text up a little bit. I'm going to put my subtitle up here also. And I'm going to save my changes for the moment. And the reason I'm doing that is what I want to do next is edit some properties on my picture. So we're going to go back to Pictures. You'll note that there's just the one right now. We're going to add a couple more in a minute. But you'll see Edit Photo, this little link right here. Let's click on that, and that will take us into our photo properties page, which does a whole lot of things. First and foremost, the system added the picture and automatically named it cover and automatically assigned it to the cover. You may say, you know what, I don't want it on the cover anymore. I'd like it at the on the back cover, or I'd like it in my appetizer section. But let's leave that alone for now. You can crop the picture using the cropping tool. If it happened to upload sideways, like it sometimes can from a phone, you can rotate it left or right. You can also just change the photo to something else. But we'll leave that all alone for now. One big thing to note, I mentioned the defaults earlier for positions and all. By default, when you add a photo, it'll be centered on the screen in the middle of your cover. And sometimes you'll want it big, sometimes you want it small. And if you haven't used the custom photo arranger, it's going to use the size set on the photo. But big note right here, this photo is part of a custom arrangement. So what you want to do is realize that no matter what you set that to, it's not going to affect it because you've changed the size on the other screen. Now you can force the system to make this look black and white if you like, which is fun, or leave it as color, which we will. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to put a border on it. How about some photo corners? That's always kind of fun. We'll save those changes. We'll go back to our cover arranger. And now we've got photo corners on our photo. Isn't that fun? Very neat. We can also add a caption. So let's go back to pictures, edit our photo, put a caption on here. Mom's apple dessert. Save that. And now we'll see I have a caption on the photo as well. So one thing you'll note is that our photo, you can't see the caption. And the reason for that is it will always use whatever the color is for the title text. So suggestion, if you do have a caption that you can't see, that's the reason why. So let's change our title text color to something a little more visible. Let's go, say, with orange to match our carrot. And then you'll see now we can see our caption on our photo as well. So that's going. Beautiful. Now, I've shown you how to move text around. I've shown you how to change your cover. I've shown you how to add a photo. A lot of folks say, you know what? I don't want any of the default covers. I'd like to just have a bunch of pictures on my cover. Well, you can absolutely do that. And the way you'll do that is you'll go down to change cover, go to your own uploaded cover, choose custom, save, and now you'll have just a blank background to work with. So let's do a couple things. First is, let's take our pictures. We'll take our recipe card and we'll put that up top. Let's make it nice and large because it's really neato and it looks really good on the cover. We will then move our title text up a little bit. Move our subtitle up. And let's go back to pictures and we'll add some new photos. Before we do that, let's make sure we save what we've done. Go to pictures and we'll add two more. You can do them right on the fly. Let's add a picture of mom and the kids and we'll add a photo of some yummy bacon candy. Now we'll save the photos, and what that does is uploads them to the system. And like before, it defaults to them right to the dead center. So we'll go to pictures. We're going to take our bacon candy. We're going to size that down a little bit. Maybe move that down into the right-hand side. We may say, you know what? I kind of like the picture of mom in the background. Let's see what we can do with that. Actually, you know what? Let's make it smaller also, just for now. Now, you can put things side by side. You can have them overlap. And in fact, that's what I'll do here, is I'll have mom and the kids on top, their bacon candy behind. Let's move our 2022 maybe over here. Save it. And we've got a cover looking pretty good. Multiple photos, got colors going on. And then you may say lastly, oh, I don't want a white background. Well, great. You can change your background color. Go to background color, choose custom, and let's pick something that'll look really nice. Let's see. Perhaps a light blue. Yeah, that might look kind of neat. Let's see. I don't love that. Let's perhaps light yellow. Yeah, I like that better. Then we save our settings. Of course, it's completely up to you. So that way you have it. That's how you work with the custom cover layout tool.